Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast, episode number 8. You're listening to the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast. We've got all that's awesomely supernatural on TV, movies, books, games, and more. Your one-stop podcast for vampires, werewolves, mutants, and myths. And now here are your hosts, Archer, Sherry, and Ravynheart. Hi, I'm S.A. Archer, co-creator of the urban fantasy series, The She. I'm so off my game tonight. My co-host is Sherry Sameen, actress and voice talent, doing her Twilight
I know.
Impression.
I've got a bow from Lost Girl and Twilight thing happen, and I just realized that the hair and the black outfit remind me of Bo from Lost Girl.
Absolutely.
You know, and then that Twilight color.
Yeah, see, you're perfectly urban fantasy today.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't even plan that. I just got on.
And we've got S. Ravynheart, who is the other half of the She Creation team. He was our techie guy and our game correspondent, but he is going to be helping us tonight with talking about all of our topics. We have so much we want to cover today. Oh, this is the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast.
Like I said, this is the blooper reel.
Yes.
Absolutely. See, it is.
This is the outtake. This is the outtake episode.
Yes.
Absolutely. See, we should always record at 9 o'clock at night.
I know, because all of us are like, yeah. Without caffeine. If I had caffeine, can you imagine? Like all over the place.
I tell you what, I had to work today, so I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And so now it's 9 o'clock at night, so I'm really, in my zone of wackiness. So.
Okay, good. This will be good for the show.
This will be the best episode ever. And today we are catching up on some of the topics that we talked about before. The trailer is out for the Wolverine 2 movie, and we've gotten a chance to see that.
Questions. Yeah. Big Shane's brain.
And we're catching up on the recent episodes of Grimm and talking about Lost Girl, and we're going to talk a little bit about the She too. So this is going to be exciting. We've got a lot to talk about.
Did you want to cover She first and then go into the shows?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, I just think get that now before they maybe somebody might tune us out. Get it in.
Get that stuff in there. We can hit it up real quick. We are going to be we're releasing this episode this Friday. So people who are listening to this, the first day it's out, it'll be the April 5th, 2013. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. April 5th and 6th on Amazon.com. You can get Remnants of Magic, which is one of our collections, will be free for those 2 days. If you miss them, it'll still be on sale on Amazon, I'm sure. But if you want to, you can go ahead and pick it up. If you search for Ravynheart, you'll find it faster than if you search for Archer. But so Ravynheart is spelled
RAVYNHEART.
Okay, or they can go to our website at shetouch.com, which is SIDHETOUCH.com, and we've got links to Amazon on there. See, I had to stop and think.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were expecting me to spell it out.
I did
that
too.
would have been perfect. Actually, it kind of was. So I was like, you're going to make me think? You're going to make me think?
Look, you do it so often, so I figured you were going to do it that time.
I feel like we're on a game show.
It's like, you know how to spell it, hit the buzzer, Oh my gosh. So yeah, so you can grab Remnants of Magic, and we are going to be doing a short story giveaway. We're going to start a reviewer rewards program, and so people who leave reviews for Remnants of Magic can contact Ravynheart. And what's your email address to be contacted, Ravynheart?
S.Ravynheart, exactly how I just spelled it.
Don't make me do it again.
At gmail.com. We'll have it in the show notes.
There you go. And we're giving away a short story as a thank you for people who leave reviews, because reviews are really important. Yeah. And we are sending a message out to our mailing list to let them know about it. And as we said, if you, all things being equal, if you go on to a place like Amazon and you look at two books that look equally good, you know, the covers are good, they sound pretty good. One has 100 5-star reviews. One has 1 review. You know, it's like, which one are you going to go for? You know, so we're trying to encourage people who like the stories to review it. So we're going to do a reviewer reward program. It's hard to say that.
That's not a tongue twister. Not at all.
So if you leave a review on Amazon, contact Ravynheart. Let him know what your reviewer handle is. And he can go check it out. And then he will send a free story. We just finished that up. It's called Fire and Bryce. And it's going to be in Bryce's point of view. It's a short story. So he's one of the young Unseelie, one of the Earthborns. So if you are enjoying the series, you'll hopefully enjoy reading Bryce's story.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. I will. I like your audience talking back. Yes.
Yeah. Leave a review, Sherry, and we will send you the copy.
Okay.
I know you've left a review on Goodreads.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense because everything I buy, I always look at reviews. Always. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's like gold to authors.
Yeah, exactly. And I like doing it. Once I start doing it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. I don't know why. I don't know why it's fun for me, but it's fun for me. I'm like, there. That's my take.
Yeah.
And I read some people's, and it's so much better and more in depth and eloquent, and like they're professional writers. And I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. I can't talk like that. I mean.
Yeah, you know what's interesting though is when you're reading the different points of view, like you see what's important to people, because some people will be like, "Oh,
that's true.
You know, Donovan is so protective and so awesome," and then other people are like, "Oh yeah, Donovan's great and all, but really it's Malcolm's story that or you're like you see different people have different
what they like.
Yeah, what touched them. So so that's cool, and we read most of the reviews, I think.
We read all of them.
I try not to read the bad ones.
Don't read the bad unless you want to be entertained. Because there's always those people. Because they don't even make sense. When I have read the bad ones, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
The bad ones don't even pertain to our stories.
I think they
people complaining about buying a shorter story and buying it for a very cheap price and then complaining that they weren't getting a full-length novel.
I know, that's so funny.
Don't go to McDonald's and buy a hamburger and then complain that it wasn't a 7-course meal.
I know.
That's your own fault. That's not the creator's fault.
I know. It's like I don't know. Those are that small percentage of people that you can't make happy no matter what you do. So.
Yeah, one of the reviews that I was like, I can't even really wrap my mind around it, but it almost was a weirdly complimentary.
Was it mine?
No. She said, clearly, since our stories take place in Ireland, clearly we are Irish writers.
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. And we should have researched Americans because our one American character was cliche because he wore a flannel shirt and
Cowboy
he
boots.
was from the Southwest. He didn't even have boots on. He had a flannel shirt on.
Oh, I was picturing
She
cowboy
said,
boots.
yeah. She said that I didn't research Americans enough because I assumed everybody's a cowboy.
And for something like that, you should have responded like to that one, just going, we live in Ohio or no, Kentucky, but you know what I mean? Like we
live in the U.S. and
yes.
not every American is cowboyish. Just this one character.
Yeah, I mean he's from like the Southwest.
You should just tell him like, I'm American. I only went to Ireland one time.
For like a week.
Yeah, for a week.
So I took it as a strange compliment that we did so well with our Irish characters that they couldn't tell that the authors weren't Irish.
That's true.
Don't we sound Irish? I think we just sound so Irish.
You did a good job in the book because I was sitting there going, I was wondering about the trip you guys took, and I'm like, I want, you know what I mean? You had that down. You could read it in there. You didn't have like serious slang Irish. Because I've read that before in books where it's really...
We want people to understand what's written, so if there's too much slang, then they're gonna... It's gonna pull people out of the story, and they're not gonna... Because they're not gonna understand enough.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, what are they trying to say? What? Yeah.
Right.
I've done
I think we only had one really that I was like, maybe I shouldn't have put that one in there, where one of the characters says, is your head a Marley? And it's Irish for have you lost your mind?
Oh.
So I thought it was close enough. I was like, so.
Okay, well, see, I didn't know. I don't even remember reading that. So.
Yeah, it was in Scars of Silver.
Oh, okay.
So one of our earlier.
I probably just glossed over it, like, okay, whatever he just said.
Yeah, I think in context you got the gist that that's what he meant.
Yeah.
And I did want to mention before we move on to the other topics, if you go to shetouch.com and sign up for the mailing list, you'll get announcements about when we do stuff for free or when we have reader rewards programs and all of our stuff. Go to shetouch.com, sign up for the mailing list, and we're working on season 2, so that's getting ready to come out. Probably about a third of the way through the rough draft. Been doing a lot of the Lou in London stuff, so I know that's something you're interested in, Sherry.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh, so and I too, before we get on to our topics, real quick, I wanted to mention that we got our first review on iTunes, and
that was awesome.
We've all seen it. So thank you, and the other listeners, hopefully you're enjoying the show, even though I'm kind of off tonight. And that you will go and leave reviews on iTunes for us too.
Yes. Yes.
Hoping everybody's enjoying it. I don't know if it was that. I think that review mentioned it. I don't think it was on Twitter, but that review mentioned getting more authors, and we are going to be getting more authors.
Yeah, I thought that was funny that they happened to mention that one thing, and we have authors lined up. I thought.
Yeah, we've already got 3 more authors we've talked to already in the can, ready to come out soon. So definitely, and we just got contacted today by another author. So we are going to be doing more authors. So don't worry, more author interviews are on the way.
Yep.
Okay. So any other announcements before we get down to business?
Nope.
Nope. We're going with all the announcements.
You guys were so talkative before we started.
No, I know. No, I'm ready to do our show. I'm ready.
Well, let's start with Wolverine. Okay. So we watched the trailer. I'm going to, if they allow embedding, I'm going to embed it with this episode on ultimateurbanfantasy.com on our website, so people can watch the trailer too. So, what'd you guys think?
I was not expecting that. I don't know why. I guess because when we were talking the Marvel Comics version, I don't know why in my head I was thinking farther back than World War II. Well, when he was first there, when that that guy when he saved his life.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it kind of blew my mind because I don't know what I was thinking it was going to be, but I was just dumbfounded. I just sat there going, okay, I've got a lot more questions now. And I knew you would know because you're a Wolverine fanatic. So
from watching the interview a little while back,
yeah,
I wasn't all that surprised by what I saw. I'm definitely excited about it.
oh yeah. Now I really want to watch it. I mean, I liked the interview, but I still didn't see that coming.
We had to watch it, like we watched it once, and I'm like, okay, now that I've kind of gotten the initial absorbing of it, we have to watch it again so I can watch for the details.
Yes, I did that too. I watched it twice just because. Oh my gosh.
One of the details I noticed was when he saved the fellow that's going to call him back in modern day.
Yeah.
That it looked like it was when one of the nuclear bombs was dropped on Japan.
Yep.
So Wolverine survived a nuclear blast. That's
Yes,
what I was getting from that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you guys?
I wasn't sure about the nuclear blast, but I thought it was during the World War II or something.
Yeah, that's when.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't thinking Hiroshima or Nagasaki bomb. I was just thinking maybe one of the battles, one of the islands during. I didn't, but now that you say that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
I'm
It
pretty
could,
sure
I could be
was
wrong, but yeah.
It looked like a mushroom cloud to me, which is the telltale sign of a nuke.
It's like he threw him in
a well.
In a well, okay, and then hovered over him.
Tossed him down into a well, and then put his body over the guy, so that the blast went across Wolverine's back. But they were down a few feet, so it's not like they got hit directly by the blast.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of it would have gone down into the well, and it went across Wolverine's back. But with his extraordinary healing ability, he was able to regenerate as he was being hit by that.
That's crazy. He's like a cockroach.
He's worse than a cockroach.
I was just thinking that's the only thing that's going to survive a whole. It's Wolverine, Cher, and cockroaches. What a combination.
How do you figure Cher?
Well, I've heard Cher say that before because some critic said that one time, and she's
so plastic or something.
Yeah, something. Never, she just maybe that's what it is. But she's just never going anywhere. She just stays,
Yeah, she doesn't look like she ages. Yeah.
Well, she's always out there. I mean, she's never faded away. She's just constantly doing. She's got an album out every decade. You know what I mean? But she says it. She's like cockroaches. Some critics said cockroaches, Cher, and something else. And so I just included Wolverine in that third one.
Twinkies, I think, has always been
Twinkies.
It could last forever. Especially now that they're not even making them. So what's out there has got to survive.
Somebody, they're coming back.
Are they?
Yeah.
The world is whole once more. There's Twinkies in it.
Yes. So we're all the people that bought them up and tried to sell them on eBay. Damn. They're back.
So he survives. Essentially, not only can he heal all this, cancer-causing radiation and fire and stuff, but he can heal being vaporized. That's what. I mean, there should have been nothing to heal. Like the molecules should have spread.
Should have been blasted away, but that's the fantasy world.
Yes, but you know what? There were people. I don't know how far away from the nucleus of the blast, but there were people that did survive. I mean, they were burned and charred, but I don't know how many miles away.
Yeah.
From it, but still,
there was one that was. It wasn't in the. He wasn't in the initial blast area, but after it hits, it sends out a shockwave for miles.
Yeah.
And he was within that area.
Blast zone, yeah.
Yeah, he was within that blast zone, and um, he was he was diving for something in this lake.
Uh-huh.
He uh, he was above water. Everything looked fine. He went under, dove all the way down to the bottom, got what he was going to get, then came back up because he heard all the explosion.
Yeah.
Came back up, and the city was leveled.
Wow.
But he didn't get hit by the wave. It went across the water.
Yeah. Wow. That's impressive. Oh my God. Well, off
That's
topic.
one of them that I heard.
That's wow. I've never heard that one.
That would be like one of those intense, it's like the one guy that survived the towers coming down,
Mm-hmm.
You just were in the right place at the right time, that it didn't crush you, and you.
When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. When it's not,
Yeah.
Not.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I like the way they opened the Wolverine trailer up with him all like bum, like all ragged out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing because it's different from the Marvel Comics version, he already lost everybody, and he's been, that's where he's at. He looked pretty.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the interview. Is they had him at his lowest. He
didn't care about
in the comic, he had lost his wife, his family, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to Japan and all of this happened. And then after he went to Japan, he joined the X-Men. But for the purpose of the movies, it's after he lost the X-Men. All the X-Men are either dead or have dispersed and just left, and he has nothing again. So
in the movie version, he was there in the 40s for something because he saved that guy.
I thought that was in World War II.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering what he was doing.
I think he was
in the movie.
A soldier in World War II.
The way he was dressed, it looked like he was a soldier.
Okay. Wow. For the second time around, I didn't get much detail, did I? I didn't remember that. I have
a photographic memory, so.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that. Well, then that would make sense then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was trying to figure out for the movie version what he was doing.
Yeah, he was a soldier.
Okay. No, well, that would make sense because he was in all the other wars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, okay.
One of the things I found interesting about the trailer, they had said in the interview that they were going to make it so, if Wolverine heals, then he's never really in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like a little lead into the fact that
they said they were going to show him at his most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so there's a point where the guy says he can give him the gift of mortality, that, immortality has been a curse, and he can give him the gift of being able to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Wolverine get shot, and he's like, I'm not healing like I used to.
Yeah, I saw that. I know. I was curious about that, too.
Yeah, it looked like he went through some kind of procedure, kind of like when he got the adamantium skeleton.
Yeah.
So they were doing some kind of procedure to him. So that did make me go, oh my goodness, if he's not healing,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
puts
has
him
lost.
In danger. Yeah.
Yeah, he has lost his superhuman healing ability.
Yeah, I like that. But they mentioned samurai, and I didn't really see a heck of a whole lot of samurai happening.
I think.
I saw some fight scenes, but
yeah, there was some fighting going on. I think in the trailer the samurai parts were alluded to, but they weren't actually shown.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there will be some. There will be plenty of swordplay.
Mm-hmm. Well, they'd have to be.
Yeah, and things of that nature.
Because I can't imagine doing a Wolverine movie and not having, in Japan, and not having fight and sword scenes.
Yeah, and we know the Silver Samurai is going to be in it, so there'll be something samurai-ish about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And some of the action scenes and the fight scenes did look pretty awesome, what they
Yeah.
did show.
Yeah,
So,
it looks so good. I mean, I want to see it now. I mean, more than last time we did this talk. So,
me too. I was a little bit worried because it seemed like they were taking a long time coming out with the trailer. So I'm
yeah,
like, I've heard a lot of hype. Let's see
yeah,
something, you know.
I
But
did.
I really liked what they showed.
Me too. I was worried about that too. And then I worry too because that happens with movies is they show the best stuff in the trailer and then you go see
Hmm.
it and it's like, okay. So I hope that didn't happen.
Hmm.
I don't think so. But I mean, I
It's
hope that they didn't
yeah,
show the
it's a
best stuff.
Wolverine movie, so it's if they did a Wolverine movie badly, that's a special kind of person that can do a Wolverine movie badly because there's so much content in the Wolverine story that they have plenty to play with.
And what they showed is amazing.
Hmm.
And like he said in the interview, I mean, I don't think Hugh Jackman would do a bad one. I mean, he
Right.
really wanted to do this saga,
Hmm.
so I don't think it would have been bad.
He seems pretty excited
Yeah.
about this movie. This is like his definitive, Wolverine
Mhm.
movie. So hopefully he'll be happy with what
Yeah,
what the results are.
yeah. I've got see that those are just questions, and I just have to see the movie now. I mean, from watching it, I'm like, I can't wait to watch the movie because I got to know where they're going. I mean, and how it
Absolutely.
ends, like you said, with the taking making him mortal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can't wait to find out how they end it, or they just end it for the next one where you're not because they can't kill him. You can't kill Wolverine. You just can't.
Yeah, he can't possibly die because I think Hugh wants to do more. Well, he's going to be coming back for that new X-Men,
There are two others. There are a total of three X-Men movies coming out in the next 2 years,
including Wolverine too.
And he is.
including the
Remember, he
Wolverine.
joked about he was getting too old to do it too.
Yeah,
So they got to do it soon.
yeah, they might pull something later. I don't think that they'll do it too soon, but they might pull something later, like in some other movies where somebody's like, "This is going to be it. Kill my character now." Like Spock.
That's a little unfair. Nobody else can play him because okay, I'm killing it off. It's my part, and nobody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Well, remember Leonard Nimoy wanted to stop playing Spock, so Spock died, but then they brought him back,
Heck.
and now they've redone the generations, or like they have new actors playing those characters now.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, so we've hit up Wolverine. We still have Lost Girl and Grimm. What are we going to talk about next?
I want to do Lost Girl because I've got so many questions.
Okay, Lost Girl. Okay, I have my notes.
Okay, Lost Girl, because maybe you guys can answer them from season 1. I just tried to make myself a list of the most confusing because I've got a million questions and there's no way I can get them all in 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Like Bo's father seems to be coming into play season 3. Like they show him but without showing him.
Okay, we've only watched season 1.
Uh-huh.
And we've only just now found out who her mother is. And
Who's her
nobody's
mother?
told
I
us-
don't even know. Who's her mother? Because you're talking about.
in season 1, she shows up. I forget what name she started off with, but her real name's Anna. She's a succubus. She shows up initially pretending to just be another succubus. And it befriends Bo and is going to show her some succubus tricks.
Okay.
But then she starts to get a little psycho after a couple episodes.
Okay.
And is like killing people, and Bo's like, "You don't kill people, and she's like, "Oh, sure you do,"
Maybe
and
it's thing.
and then Anna finds out that Bo and Dyson are starting to become an item,
Yeah.
and Anna doesn't like that, so she uses her succubus power to enthrall Dyson.
Uh-huh.
Basically, she rapes Dyson. Well, she forces him against his will to have sex with her, and Bo catches them having sex. And then Anna tries to kill Dyson, and Bo has to, for the first time, use that power where she exhales life
Yeah.
instead of just always sucking it. And so she saves Dyson's life. And she doesn't blame Dyson for what happened. She knows that
Yeah.
Anna
Waving his
had done this to him, even though he's like racked with guilt about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the last episode of season 1, she's trying. They finally tell her, "Well, that was really your mom." And she's like, "What?"
Wait, I thought she knew all along that it was
No, she just now finds out that that's her mom, which is kind
Finds
of
out after the fact.
yeah,
Wow.
the whole sex with Dyson thing. And Dyson has decided he's not going to keep any more secrets from her, so he tells her, even though Trick doesn't want her to know just yet. And we find out that her mother was right after they had made a peace between the light and the dark fae. Her mother, I think, killed the dark fae, is what they said.
She started a resistance and basically started the war back up.
And so Trick turns her over to the dark fae to be executed. But instead of being executed, she becomes the slave of the Dark Fae King for hundreds of years. And he apparently was sadistic, and if she wasn't crazy before, he made her crazy with
If she wasn't crazy before, he made her completely psycho.
Okay. Well, that I always wanted to know the mother thing because all that. Well, then now the father thing is coming into play, and it seems like because they're not. They hint all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like her father seems to be somewhere in the storyline now, and maybe always has been like a puppeteer, like. He's been, and it's like, is he Odin or is he somebody else? They're not sure. And then it seems like she's possessed sometimes, and they're speculating that maybe it's her father possessing her in those moments.
Weird.
It's like, I know. So she saved Dyson again. He died, and she breathed life back into him again. So that's funny that I didn't know that about the first time, but she's done it again during the dawning, during her initiation into the Fae. I think that's what the dawning is.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because Dyson sacrificed himself for her, but didn't tell her. He knew they had to go into the temple, but it's kind of like a dream world. You go, and somebody could volunteer to go in, and Dyson volunteered, and she said, "No, I don't want you." She's with Lauren, and Lauren's like, "No, you need protection. I'd rather you come back safe and sound." So it's funny. It's like, yeah, you go, Dyson. You go. So she sends them. So they go into this portal, and they go into a surreal world. It was weird. It was really weird. It was almost like being stuck in a dream. Dream. And they were. It's hard to explain, but every room was a completely different dream. But Dyson knew, because he's been around for so long, he knew going into the temple, only one could come out. So he was like self-sacrificing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she didn't know that. But Trick did, and Trick didn't say anything. He just let him go.
Yeah.
So, and then he say at the very end of this thing, he's like, "You have to kill me. because she needed a key, and she take this key." Well, Dyson was the key to get back, and she's like, "No," and he's like, "Yes, you have to kill me." She's like, "No," and he goes, "Remember, this isn't real. None of this is real." But it was real. Telling her it wasn't real.
Yeah.
And in this temple, she was pregnant with his baby.
Oh.
And he's like, so he used that. He was like, "You have to kill me because people need you over there, not stuck here." So he makes her stab him because he threatened to rip the baby out of her stomach.
Yeah.
So
that's gross.
Yeah. So he did it so she stabbed him and he died. And so the person that was monitoring temple inside, he's like, "Well, now you can leave. You've got the key," because the key showed up in her hand. And she was like, "Well, see, that's just the thing. I'm not leaving without him. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't. The temple doesn't work that way, and you both have to stay, or it's vengeful and blah blah blah. And those aren't the rules. And she's like, well, that's the thing about me. I don't follow rules. So she took his blood and she did this design that Trick had put on her forehead before she went to the temple, and made it with her blood, held on to him, and they zapped back.
Very cool.
Yeah. So then, she ends up sucking, because nobody could save Dyson. He was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden she got this like possession, and she's talking a very deep, deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering now, I don't know if it was her or her father, but she's like, that's the thing. I decide who lives and who dies. And she just sucks from all at once, 4 of them. Trick, the seer or the looker, Stella, and Lauren and Kenzie. She just, all 4 of them, and the 2 humans collapsed. Lauren and Kenzie, at the end, they just fell down. The other 2, and she used all that and put it into Dyson and brought him back.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I know. And I know. I was like, so that's amazing that she's done that to him twice now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We finished season 1, and we're going to be watching season 2 on Netflix, and you're in season 3.
Yeah.
So we just watched the last episode of season 1 today.
I feel like I'm spoiling it for you because
no. This is great. Because we're covering all kinds of aspects for people.
And if any listeners are out there and want to explain this stuff that we're talking about, please explain this stuff. Type us or email us or put it on our, because I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, leave a comment on the website at ultimateurbanfantasy.com.
That's what I meant to say.
There you go.
Because I really want to know, and I feel like these fans know a lot more than I do. I'm just trying to grasp, because that's the other thing now in season 3, not to cut you off, but I mean, because they're showing her like almost becoming dark, which is surprising because it almost sounds like her mom, the way you describe her. She's fighting these dark, and you can see that she's really fighting these urges to become dark. So it's like, okay, you're not.
We'll have to see what's happened between one and the other. She was a little bit naive, because she kept going, okay, my mom tried to kill me. My mom's tried to kill my boyfriend. My mom has blown up half of the Light Fae Council, but I still want to keep giving her another chance, and then finally her mom tries.
There's good in her.
Yeah, still thinks there's good. So it's kind of like, how much more does she have to do, Bo, before you think that she's not?
That explains a lot, because I just saw an episode where Trick and the looker, I swear they called her the looker. I call her like the seer, but
right.
Yeah, but they sent her back to her human home. Because she had to make peace with her mother, and she did say, she goes, yeah, I had 2 mothers and twice the whatever, the crap that I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean, instead of just having one mother, she had
the dysfunction from it.
Yes, the dysfunction. She goes, twice the mothers, twice the dysfunction. But she didn't want to go back, because I guess that human mother called her every name in the book when thought she was the devil and all that. But it was interesting, because then she went back home and she made peace with the mother, which was kind of, because the mother had dementia, and it was, but that was interesting to see her make peace with that past. So it'd be, and she had to forgive, and she didn't want to forgive, but she ended up forgiving. So that was interesting. So it'd be neat to see if she goes through that with her biological mother, because it really empowered her to make peace with the human.
Yeah, we know she's not truly dead yet. Or we think she's not dead yet. She fell from a balcony and
fell from, like, what was it? 3
she's
floors
not.
up?
Somebody was carrying off with her body, though. So
so she's not dead. But I also want to do a shout out to the actor, the Casey Collins.
Yes.
Hale, the new Ash or whatever. I don't know why they don't have him that often in season 3, though. This coming up episode is called Hail Hail.
All right, there you go.
Hail, yeah. So I'm going to see that one for sure. But they don't hardly have him on, and when they have had him on, it's very small. They make him seem like I almost want to say like a mafia boss towards Lauren. He's very. I don't understand the full control issue with Lauren, but it
Hmm.
seems to be like, well, you're going to do what I say, and he's got his two henchmen standing behind him, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened? What
The
happened?
the first Ash owned Lauren, so I'm assuming her ownership passed to the next Ash. Um,
I
so something. Yeah, hi, Kitty. um, and yeah, I'm glad you gave a shout out to KC because Casey Collins retweeted us on Twitter.
Yay!
So cool. So,
I
so we
thought,
love you. We love you,
yeah,
Casey.
I do love him, and I love the fact that I don't know why he went dark on me. I mean, because when I
Yeah,
first saw him, he was normal. He was Dyson's ex partner. Now the Ash. It was cool.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
all of a
We
sudden
still
he's
see him
hot.
as being sweet in season one. And he and Kenzie occasionally have a almost a little tension there between the two, and
I can't,
um,
I
you
can't
know.
wait to see him in this upcoming episode because he got dark. I mean, he's like a
Hmm.
mafia boss, mafia. Because I was like, he was just sitting there and was like, "You're not going anywhere." Which brings me to one of the last episodes. Lauren split. She's gone.
Okay.
She met up with some medical business guy named Isaac.
Hmm.
He kept going, "You're too good for this. You're too good for this." And her and Bo were having the outs there.
Hmm.
They were falling. They had something happen, and they weren't. It wasn't working, and I kind of was hoping it wouldn't work because I wanted to get with Dyson. So I'm like, I was torn because I know a lot of people. Sorry, fans of Lauren, because Lauren has a lot of fans, but I really like Dyson. So
Hmm.
I guess it's
We
too crazy.
also saw something happen with Dyson in this last episode that we just watched.
Oh, okay. What was it?
He went to what was the lady called? I
I
can't
think they
remember.
just called her Crone.
Okay,
Wow, like an old.
who
Yeah, like an
who
old woman.
apparently is very, 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 very powerful. He went to her to ask a favor, and her price is that which you hold most dear. The first, apparently, he had gone to her sometime before then,
Mm-hmm.
and she said the price is that which you hold most dear. Back then, what he held most dear was his wolf form. Since he's a werewolf,
Yeah.
his wolf form was what he held most dear. And they made an agreement, and when she went to exact her price, she's like, I will take that which you hold most dear, your love for Bo, and then she took it away from him. But she held up her end of the bargain, which was to give Bo his strength to overcome her mother.
Ah.
So yeah, we're left off thinking, okay, so Dyson's love, because he just confessed his love for her.
Yeah.
He just said he's not going to keep any more secrets. That he wants to build this relationship. She's cool. She wants to build the
Yeah.
relationship, and now she's stolen his love. That's where they leave episode one off. So it sounds
Yeah.
like he must get over that if
No,
he
no,
sacrificed.
he's deeply in love with her. Still deeply in love with Bo. See, somewhere between the end of season one, where you guys are at, and when I picked up in season two, in
Or
this,
season three, yeah.
no, I started watching it in season two.
Okay.
They were already broke up. So
Uh-huh.
something happened in those so many episodes where they broke up and she hooked up with Lauren.
She's been hooking up on and off with Lauren
Oh, I
already.
didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now
She's kind of
Lauren,
back and forth between the two of them.
I think Lauren's
She's been
gone.
flirting with her for almost, I
Okay.
think, since the first episode.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lauren, working for the Ash, there's a point where the Ash is like, we need to keep Bo out of the way. And Lauren, it is your job, being owned by me, to go keep Bo busy. And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, well, she likes you. So Lauren sleeps with Bo the first time as a distraction to keep
Ah.
her from doing something. So that, when Bo found that out, was all kinds of ticked off and was like,
Ah.
You
So
go back
that's
to your slavers or whatever, and here's your dog collar because she had a necklace that had the ashes symbol or whatever. And
yeah.
so she's all mad at Lauren the last time we saw her.
So they when they started dating, they knew all that because they were dating their hot and heavy for a while. So
Yeah, this must
that,
be after. Yeah.
so when this Isaac guy showed up, which is really weird because he showed up at this, at, during the breakup where you could just tell her and Bo were falling apart, and he's like, "You deserve better. I can do this for you." And then within a couple of episodes, he's like, "You need to come with me and work for my company." And she does, and now that explains it. The whole Ash thing, because she leaves, and I'm going, wait a minute. He came and got her and took a suitcase, and you're wondering, like, why is this guy? He's almost, I don't know. There's something not quite right about this guy either. Even though he seems like a nice medical guy. And
oh yeah, they wouldn't be in the story if it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, but there's something like, why you? And she just goes off with him after so many weeks of knowing him.
Yeah,
Goes off
like maybe he's mesmerizing her.
I don't know. I feel like he's brought in for a reason to take her away. Whether that's Bo's father too. Maybe he's controlling that. I don't know. All I know is I couldn't figure out why they came and got a suitcase of hers, and Lauren puts her cell phone down and walks out, and I'm like, she's leaving all that artwork. She's leaving all her furniture. Now she's left her phone. She's disappearing. Like. Disappearing.
You're not gonna be able to find her. Yeah.
Exactly. She just did. But now the whole Ash thing makes sense because she's disappearing probably from Ash and Bo.
And probably all of that furniture and artwork and all that, it doesn't belong to her. It belongs to him.
Oh.
It belongs to the Ash.
Okay. See, and I didn't know that. Man, I know so little.
I don't know that for sure. That's just what I'm guessing. It's like,
okay.
Yes, you can have all of these things. I own them, but you can use them to make you feel like you're better than a slave.
So I think she's trying to make a run for it, basically. I think she's trying to get, because Ash threatened her the last time, and she didn't seem happy about that. So I'm thinking she is, and she's breaking off from Bo too. So it's kind of like a win-win for her. I'm just going to leave. Though I don't know why, and then the whole Bo's father thing, and then on top of that, there's a Fae killer. At the very last episode, there's somebody who's been killing the Fae, and people have been trying to pin it on Bo.
Right.
And that's why Tamsin came in. Tamsin came in going, she's the killer of the Fae, blah, blah, and Dyson's like, no, I'm gonna act everybody out. No. That's not Dyson though. But anyway, so that's been going back and forth. But they found a Fae killing field. A literal field with, I don't even know how many. I'll say at least 50 dead Fae, light and dark. And Dyson, Tamsin are
sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're going, what the heck is killing these Fae? So then that's up in the air.
They don't remember from the end of season 1.
Well, that's the other thing is, James was watching it with me, and I go, well, they're out in the woods in a field. You can't tell me that whatever is killing the Fae isn't watching them right now, because that's his field. Whatever it is that's his field. Him, her, it, I don't know.
My thoughts are...
Sure. Well, they go to a tree and there's a camera going, watching everything they're doing. And James like, man, you had that pegged. I'm like, well, it only makes sense because it's her territory. Yeah.
She doesn't know if it's a guy. Yeah.
I don't know.
My thoughts are, it's the mother.
Really? I've been reading.
That's what she was trying to restart the war. She wants both sides to fight and to pretty much destroy themselves, and for her to come in and pick up the ashes and rule the Fae as one queen. And
one of them that was in, well, one of the Faes that were killed, not one in the field, but the one that got Tamsin going was made to look like Bo's work. That's why Tamsin from the get-go is like, it's Bo, it's Bo, it's Bo.
Yeah, if it's another succubus.
Framing her. Well, that's the other thing is people are like, is it our father doing it? Is it a human serial killer? Is it a, but the mother succubus, I didn't think about that. Wouldn't it make sense? Because you would automatically think man. It would be a man doing it. But I mean, every kind of fae is in this
And she
field.
was already trying to do that in this last episode. She actually did kill she had one of her henchmen kill a high-powered fae, and then she marked off on a list that she had, and was like, all right, there's one. Let's go kill some more.
Aha. But my last thing, and then we can move on to Grimm,
Uh-huh.
and maybe you guys can answer this, or maybe Archer, you can answer this. Tamsin actually went with Bo on another part of the dawning. It's like there's different parts of the dawning.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know. Whatever this thing is that she has to go through.
Uh-huh.
And she went with her, and she didn't know she was it. Bo, neither one knew they were in it at the time. It kind of just happened. It was an accident. Well, they didn't know they were in it. Anyway, they were put into it, and Trick was watching with the looker, Stella, and Trick had to end up there. He'd always get two choices, and he ended up having to choose which way Bo would go. But she had to pass whatever choice he made. She would have to pass on her own. Then he would have to. Then two more would pop. So it's like that, something like that. Anyway, it was in this weird trailer park.
Okay.
But anyway, they're going through this trailer park, and they had to follow these things. But there was a point where they got to a tarot card reader.
Okay.
And the lady, everybody, I don't know, they acted like they weren't even in on the game. It was weird. It was like it was part of the thing, but none of the people in this trailer park acted like they were part of it. Yeah, it was really weird. I can't explain it. It was like
They were just acting natural.
Yeah, like they didn't even know who she was. It was like a nightmare. If you had a nightmare, that's what it had, a nightmare thing quality to it.
Okay.
And they had to rescue some girl. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Some fae creature. It doesn't matter. Anyway, they get to a part with the tarot reader, and this is what I want to know, is she put down two cards, and it was like, you have to pick one.
Okay.
And you know Bo. God love Bo. Because Trick picked something. I don't know what he picked, but Bo went ahead and reached from the stack and flipped one over from the stack, and I'm like, that's Bo.
Yeah.
And two choices in front of her, and she takes the stack, and it was the Wanderer. And the tarot card reader was like, it was a woman, and she was like, what? Like almost like she was confused. Maybe because she was confused that Bo took from the stack. I'm not sure. Well, then Bo flipped over one of the other cards, and it was the Wanderer. And then she flipped over the second one, and it was the Wanderer. And Tamsin and her are going on. And now the lady's freaking out because the lady's acting like she has no idea what's going on. So then Bo flips over the whole stack and smears them, and they're all the Wanderer.
So apparently that is the answer, whatever the question was.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I was like, what's the Wanderer tarot card? I don't know what that means. But the lady was like freaked out, like, what'd you do to my cards? I mean, she acted like she had no idea. Well, then when they make it through and they save this girl, Tamsin's walking away from Bo, leaves her in her house, in her loft or whatever, and she's walking outside, and it's the very end of this episode. And she's walking, and she looks down, and she sees a tarot card.
Okay.
And she flips it, and it's the Wanderer. Now, they're not even in the thing anymore.
Right.
And Tamsin's like, she looks up, and she goes, no, tell me this isn't it, or this isn't it, or she's not it. She either said it wasn't it, or she wasn't it. And it started raining the Wanderer cards all over her. And that was the end of the episode.
Well, I don't remember the Wanderer being in the tarot card deck.
What the heck?
Unless it's supposed to be another one that they, in different card decks.
It may just be for the show. I mean, what was Bo before the show actually started? She was a wanderer. She went from one city to another to another to another.
They've been acting like she's somehow special since the very beginning. There's something special about her. So
But
maybe she is, the Wanderer. And Tamsin's like, no, she can't be. But I bet you it must be something predicted, like Fae-wise, like
because
everybody
everybody seems to know everything but Bo. So Tamsin knows something.
And nobody's telling.
Yeah, because Tamsin was like, no, tell me that she's not it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, something you might not realize, and when you're mentioning Trick, something that comes out in season 1 is that Trick was, I think they call it the Blood King or something.
Blood Sage? Something like that?
Where he could... Yeah. What was it, Ravynheart?
She said Blood Sage. I think that sounds right. He was a king, so I think they referred to him as the Blood King.
Oh, okay.
But anything he writes with his own blood as the ink comes true.
Okay, so what did he do?
That's how he got the original peace between the light and the dark fae.
He forced it.
Yeah, he forced it by writing it in his blood. But every time he does that, there's a consequence that he hasn't revealed what that is yet. But I'm thinking that he might have sort of wrote Bo into existence, or her destiny or something. Like, she might be something he's written about manifesting.
Okay.
And especially, he's making choices and stuff, and, so I'm wondering how much he's controlling everything about her life, Yeah,
and she called him her grandfather, too, and I was like, what?
Well, that's news. We were wondering if he was her dad. Yeah.
So that was the last thing, but Trick's her grandfather. They talked about it for a couple minutes in one of the episodes in season 3.
Okay.
Okay, so there.
Well, Granddad needs to sit down and start spilling the beans.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's been so freaking secretive. And they all know. Now that you watch all the episodes, you realize they all know.
They all know, and everyone is being quiet to keep people safe, but being quiet is putting people in more danger than speaking.
And they're doing it for the show to keep people watching it.
Yeah. Which is actually a good segue into Grimm, because they're doing that exact thing with Juliet.
Yes.
And
let's go to Grimm.
Driving me crazy.
Yes. What is the deal?
Can I beat some writers, please?
Yes. So what's the deal with that and her seeing Nick, and she's getting her memory back slowly, it seems like. Visions of...
And she knows, everybody knows, she knows there's magic, there's no reason for them not to tell her at this point.
If he told her once, I think it's okay to fill her in.
I mean, everybody else already knows except for Wu.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody knows.
Well, thing is if he felt safe enough to tell her the first time, then obviously it's the same woman. She hasn't completely gone bonkers. She remembers everything else about her life. She's the same woman, same everything. If you told her once, just go ahead and tell her again.
They're actually torturing her by not telling her. Forcing her to go through all this magical stuff in her life that she doesn't understand, that if she just understood,
Yes.
So.
And now also... go ahead.
I was telling Archer earlier, this is why people get odd, incorrect notions about relationships, is because on TV, I love this person, so I have to lie to them.
For their own good.
No. If you love someone, you tell them the truth. You don't keep secrets.
Thank you.
Keeping secrets is what you do from people you don't care about.
Exactly. And you don't want them to know. Yes. Yes. And you remember how we mentioned in the last Grimm episode where trailer and why does he have it and how is he going to keep secret and blah, blah. Everybody has been to that trailer now. Everybody, it's like an open door. Now everybody's been in that trailer. I'm like, what the heck? We just got done saying how easy it would be to get in there. But I mean, some people are let in. But I mean, but it's like now everybody's been to the trailer.
Now the trailer has a revolving door.
Yes, I was like, talking about that.
Yeah, and Juliet sees this vision. And she's like, I see I see him turning the pages of a book. And Monroe blurts out, that's like the books in the trailer. And everybody's like, hello? You know,
I
you
know.
want to tell us more about this trailer? And Juliet's like,
Like, what
yeah, can I go to the trailer now? He's like, did I say that?
I might as well. Everybody else has. Monroe should have been like, sure, why not? Everybody else has been the boss.
Then he's like, I have to ask Nick. You know, obviously Nick is keeping secrets. You know, you're just highlighting it in yellow. And
I don't know why Nick
Yeah.
is keeping secrets. I don't understand that. I mean, other than frustration, I don't understand why he's doing it. And then remember how easy his boss got into that trailer? Remember we joked about how, I mean, it's just a trailer. It's it's like tin foil. You know what I mean? It's just a trailer. And sure enough, the boss just went. I mean, he like picklocked it or something. And then went inside. I was like, all your centuries of knowledge gathered by your ancestors.
And it's just a simple lock that any burglar could pick.
Yes, it's all in a trailer in an empty, unguarded parking lot.
Well, that was weird how fast Renard and Nick just, you know, we're buddies, we're working together.
I don't know if they're complete buddies, but yeah, they're definitely, yeah, they're working together. I don't feel like they trust each other. Or, okay, how about this? I don't think Nick trusts him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the boss definitely needs him now. I mean, to deal with his own half-prince brother, half-brother, prince, whatever. I mean, but I don't think Nick is completely trusting of him. Like, why now? I mean, didn't him and his partner even talk about that? Like, why?
Yeah, but then, like, this last episode, they're like, the three of them are in the room going, I bet you this is one of those, you know, Vesson that are doing this. Okay, well, let's go get them. You know, like,
yeah,
we're all buddies. Let's go do the job.
Yeah,
you know?
I got that, but I just don't think they completely try. If he does, I'm shocked. Because I wouldn't. I'd be like, you've known all along and you've been screwing me over and now we're friends? Okay. I mean, because that's pretty much, that would be so stupid. I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, you've known about me and you've been doing all this stuff.
You've been making out with my girlfriend. And
well, that kind of wasn't his fault, but yeah.
I know, but still. He got over it. He got over it with Renard really, really fast, and he's not getting over it with Juliet at all.
Hold on.
You know, he's like not even talking to her. I think that it just feels like they're making it so artificially separated, you know, instead of just, let's just tell her. There would be no storyline, I guess, if they would just tell her.
I know, and you know what that tells me? She's probably going to be written off because they don't know what to do with her. Doesn't it seem like they're prolonging it? It's almost like they're not quite sure where to go or what they're going to do. So I'll bet you money she'll be gone by the end of the season. I just can't. It just seems weird not to tell her. I just don't know. I mean, it just, I don't know. Like they're buying time. Like they're trying to buy time. Yeah.
But I'm liking her better now that I don't feel like she's being quite so intentionally obstinate. That she is trying to seek now, at least, you know. So everybody else is getting on my nerves for not telling her.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought. Oh well. So what do you think about the Hexen Beast being pregnant with one of the prince's son or daughter, I guess? But.
Yeah. I don't know. I was starting to wonder if she really was. I'm like, is she really pregnant with one of their?
It seemed like the other Hexen Beast confirmed it.
Yeah, I know, but I was wondering. I'm like, but she could be pregnant, but could it really be one of theirs, or is she just? Is it one of those things like, yeah, this is your baby? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Go with the rich ex-boyfriend. Like, no, I swear, this one's yours. I mean, I wondered that. I was thinking that. I'm like, is it really one of theirs? But she did take advantage of the, what's his name? The boss.
Renard.
Renard. She did take advantage of him before she left. So she knew what she was doing. She was setting it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do with it. I mean, I don't know what her plan is.
Yeah, it's all upon, you know, part of the scheme that she's scheming. I'm not even sure she knows what she wants to do except for just get more closer to power. It's like I'll figure out what to do with the power when I get it. I'm
Yeah, I
just
think
trying to get it right now.
I think her and the other Hexen base did say that. Something like, you know what you can do with,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, she obviously has a reason because she set Renard up. I mean,
Hmm.
she seduced him. So obviously she had that in mind. I just don't know, other than, like you were saying, using it to have access to the royal family. I don't know what the heck. I
Hmm.
know she doesn't love it. I know that. I know it's just a
Yeah,
tool.
yeah. What do you think about? Did you see the episode before this past one where his eyes were infected?
Yes. They had to spoon out the eyeball and mix it up as the antidote. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, I watched that with James.
At the end of that episode, they made it seem like because he'd been infected with that now he has like super hearing, and
Yes.
they didn't use it in this next episode, but there at the end of that episode, he had a blindfold on, and Monroe was
Hmm.
throwing fruit up in the air,
Yeah, and
and
he's
he
like,
had his mace
yeah,
baseball bat thing, and he was whacking it out of the air. He was doing this whole, it was the
yeah,
whole Star Wars,
yeah. There's
using
the
the
force.
Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was expecting him to pull out that new ability.
Yeah, I know, but it is nice to know he does have it in his arsenal now. I
Hmm.
was like, well, there, see, now we got, because I felt bad for him and everything, but then at the end when he was doing that, I'm like, well, that's not really that bad. He gained awesome hearing.
Right. So now he's like Ninja Grimm, not
Now
just
you got to
regular.
watch what you say. 'Cause you hear everything across the room. I love
Oh,
that hearing.
yeah. But then I guess you still have to deal with uh the whole cop mentality. Like in this past episode, I was like, oh my gosh, I can already see they knew that the killer was going after this woman. They call the woman and they say lock the doors and the windows, and I'm like, it's already in there.
In
It's
there.
already
I
in there.
know.
She's gonna
It's
lock
like,
herself in with it, and
I
that's
know.
exactly what they did. And then the police have all got it surrounded, and they're waiting for the detectives instead of rushing right in.
I know the killer's in there. It's like every scary movie ever. It's the formula. You don't lock yourself in because the killer's in there with you. Yeah. And then did you notice too? Because when the fly guy, I'll call him that, comes running down the steps, she's there, that woman is there with the knife, and I don't even think she looked. She stabbed the first person that came around the corner, and I'm like, well, good thing it wasn't a cop.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you caught that, but I mean,
Yeah, I saw that.
she
Yeah.
just kind of stabbed at whatever was coming down the steps. I'm like, man, she is so lucky that it was that guy. Because
She was, yeah, that I liked her, and that was the episode before this one. That she knew that the guy was infecting people's eyes, and so she
yeah.
was like covering her eyes, and he'd be fighting with her, and
Yes.
she's covering her eyes, and I'm like,
I
go
said,
girl.
I said that too to James. I said, well, at least she's smart enough to cover her eyes finally. I mean, because all the other people weren't fighting.
Yeah,
It's nice to see somebody fighting back and
yeah.
smart enough to know to cover her eyes and
Hmm.
still
It's like,
be
I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it, and I'm gonna
and you're
fight
not,
every.
yeah,
He gets her down like 2 or 3 times, and every time
yeah.
she's like, no, no, no.
Yeah, and kicked him, and I mean, I know, I thought that was awesome too. That's
So
why
I
I thought,
thought she rocked.
yeah, I did too, especially when she came with the butcher knife. But the only problem I had was she wasn't paying attention who was she was stabbing.
Yeah, that could have been Nick or any of the
Yeah,
cops. Yeah.
yeah, that was the only thing. I'm like, well, you really got to pay attention to who you're stabbing. But it worked. I'm glad it worked out.
It's like, note to self, note who you're stabbing.
Yeah, yeah, that's how accidents happen. This,
You don't run with the knife like that.
yeah.
Don't run with scissors. You don't run
It was
with the
that
knife.
like big cooking butcher knife too. I mean, she wasn't playing. She's like,
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't like most victims. Run from the house, hope the police take care of it. She's running back up the stairs with a knife.
yeah, yeah. Because she knew the cops were there. Yeah, she knew the cops were there.
Yeah, because they passed her up, and she's like, up in the attic. Yeah.
Up in the attic, I'll be down here stabbing the first person down the steps. Yeah, that was the only part I wish they would have at least changed a little bit, where the actress looked at who she was stabbing. Otherwise, it was perfect.
Uh-huh.
Great. So on the last one, I don't really know. I know the one coming up will be cool. I've seen the commercials for the new Grimm. I know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what kills me is by the time this comes out, a lot of our questions, if we have any, will be answered. By
This
the
is
time
coming out on Friday, yeah, so it'll be like that evening.
yeah. Then we're like, oh, no,
There you go.
yeah, like 3 weeks from now, it's going to air, and we're going to be so far behind. We should predict what we think is going to happen in 3 weeks.
I predict Juliet still won't know that Nick is a Grimm.
I was going to say, I predict that she's going to be written off.
You've been predicting it since last season. Yeah, well, I guess it's still the same season. They keep just adding episode numbers on the.
I know, yeah. Well, that's true. But she'll be gone. She'll be on a trip. She needs a break. She'll be written off in some capacity, like or something. But it'll be interesting. She will say she doesn't know. Ravynheart, you're gonna think she's gonna be in the know. How's that? That's your. I'm giving him his answer.
Okay.
See, you don't talk up enough. We will insert
Yeah, you put words in my mouth.
like that last. I think it was the last Lost Girl episode. Actually, I was like, he doesn't even need to be here. I'll tell you what he'd say.
Exactly. We'll just give you your lines. We're just open and close your mouth once in a while, and we'll talk for you.
Did you ever listen to the Lost Girl episode?
No.
I said it a couple times. If Ravynheart was here, this is what he'd say.
I didn't listen to it, but you're right down the hall, so I could hear your side of it.
Yeah, you probably could mostly just hear me giggling.
Yeah. Like now.
You know what I would like to have happen by the time this airs is for Grimm's mother to come back. If I could make a prediction, I want the mother to come back.
Well, this is airing this Friday.
This is?
Days.
Yeah, we're gonna bump the lineup.
Oh, so, that's what you were talking about. I thought you meant the new Grimm episode was coming out this Friday. Because I mean,
it comes out this Friday too.
Yeah,
so this will be out Friday afternoon. Friday night, the answers will be on there.
Oh, I thought you were saying Grimm was coming out Friday. I didn't know you meant this podcast.
No, this podcast is coming out in 2 days.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. Originally, we were going to do, it was PlayStation 3, and we were moving that back, and we're inserting this one, because otherwise, by the time this one came out, the whole season would be over. So.
That's what I was, okay, well, that was my talk, but I wasn't really listening to you. Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, that I wasn't listening to you, because I thought you were talking about the Grimm episode was coming out this Friday.
Okay.
I know.
That's why I was like, we need to record this, like, before Friday. So much was happening. I was like, we need a catch-up episode.
We were doing so well up until then. We were just, and then my brain just shut off. I was just like, yeah, I know, Grimm. We're talking about it right now. It's coming out on Friday. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I think that I can't remember anything else on Grimm though. I mean, I do like where it's going, other than.
I've noticed that they don't seem to be doing a lot with Hank since he found out about Grimm. He's kind of been, he's just sort of there, he's with them, but he's not like
Ash. That's like Hale in Lost Girl. It's like they kind of put him off to the side for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, and I like him. He's like, to me, he's like the grounding of the show, because he's the mortal. I mean, he's the normal guy. Yeah, I mean,
right.
He's a non-monster. He's skeptical. He's logical. I kind of like the fact that he's just like a normal person plopped into this, and
right.
I like that. I know when he's not on, I miss him. It's like having us in there. You know, like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This isn't right. Yeah.
Well, so I think we will have to talk again when we find out what happens with Grimm and Lost Girl, and catch up again later in the season when we're like, I just have to talk, because I was getting the first couple episodes of Grimm. I was like, I can't wait to talk about this, because Renard and Nick are like starting to talk, and they totally spill their guts. They're kumbaya-ing, and
I don't get
knuckle
that.
bumping practically. I don't know what's going on.
I know, and I don't get that because I would be so pissed. I just don't understand. But okay.
But I like Renard, so I
No,
would
I
be
do
cool
too.
with him being a good guy.
I do too, but I just would be more like cautious, like,
Yeah, I wouldn't be
yeah.
trusting him that fast.
Maybe it's a boss thing. Maybe he's just doing it because that's his boss.
And you did mention last time that Renard has saved his butt, and he's probably very much aware that Renard has saved his butt, so he might be kind of going, well, maybe he's not all that bad,
Yeah, that, and it's like you keep people close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole adage of, keep your friends close and your enemies closer or something,
Yeah.
I kind of think it's late and I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Oh, no.
I'm just assuming at some point Ravynheart's going to go, I turned it off, We're off the air. Oh my gosh. So, okay, great. We will talk more. We've got the next episode's going to have an author on. We'll have the author of the Matt Archer Monster Hunter series. So we will be talking about a book next time. So for our listeners, and subscribe to us on iTunes, and leave a rating, leave a review. You can join our mailing list at ultimateurbanfantasy.com. Leave us comments on the shows. We want to know
questions.
Yeah, we want to know what you guys want. We want to know what you guys think. Right now, as far as the podcast numbers are going, Lost Girl is like way in ahead. The most popular one. Let us know what you guys want. If you want more Lost Girl, if you want other things, you can't wait for us to talk about urban fantasy topics, preferably.
Preferably, yeah.
Let us know what you want us to talk about, and we will definitely do that. And your website, I give your address every now and then. I think it's ssameen.
Yeah.
.wix.com.
Yeah.
/ssameen again, and I will have that on. It's on our website. People can always find it on our website under the podcast hosts. And also on the YouTube video. I always have it on the YouTube video, so people can contact you in case they want you to be on an episode of Lost Girl.
Yeah, true, but I don't. Well, they'd have to go through my agency. They can't contact me through that website.
They can't.
No, because you, as an actor, you cannot put. It's not. You don't put your personal info. You don't put. If you have your agency get contacted.
Okay.
So.
Do you have your agency contact info on your website?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so they can contact you through your agency on your website.
Me, which I highly doubt, but yes.
Yes. No, they should totally have you on Lost Girl or Grimm. I think you look like you're perfect right now, like you said, for Twilight.
I know. So. I got the Twilight thing happening. Yeah. That would be fun.
I would love to see you on one of those shows.
I know. I'd be like, I wouldn't even be in character.
Oh my gosh.
Like, okay, get out of here.
That would be too funny. You'd be like, listen to me on the Ultimate Urban Fantasy podcast.
Yes, exactly. I'm like doing promos.
You'd be back there with a t-shirt. To make you a t-shirt.
I'll just walk through a scene with my shirt, stop, and then keep going. Oh, man.
That would be great. Totally.
People would be like, what the hell is going on?
So we should do much more podcasts in the middle of the night. We amuse ourselves anyways. Yeah. I hope the listeners are enjoying themselves too.
Yes, I gauge how we're doing by Ravynheart. if he's like
it's bedtime.
Yes, I know. A couple times we're going at it and he's like
Well, we have been at it for an hour and a half.
I know. Okay, sorry.
Uh,
We'll
so
end this.
let's wrap this up then. Okay. You've been listening to the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast. Find us on the web at ultimateurbanfantasy.com. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list for updates and goodies. And hook up with us on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and YouTube. You can find out more about Archer and Ravynheart's The She series at shetouch.com. That's SIDHETOUCH.com. See you next time.